Hello, this is the third reading, so this is for number 3 of the numerology readings. Not exactly sure what it's about. It could be about your life path number, so if you want to use that as to kind of find your reading. Otherwise, there might be some other significance to this number for you if you're here watching it. I'm going to go ahead. One of the things I've been thinking about is 1 and 2 definitely did go to a place where like number 1 kind of connected to number 2, those readings. So if you don't watch them in sequence, I'll make a playlist and we'll do that, which you might be watching right now in the playlist, so that's kind of redundant. I also, just so you know, I've got a fever right now, so my energy is it's pretty all over the place and delirious. I had my booster shot and it hit me pretty hard. For number 3. Here we go. Judgment. And so we're starting at a different place. The Judgment card became something of like, you know, there's like this energy. I did a quick little reading, just so you know too, there's people watching on Discord as I'm filming this, so I did a quick reading. I've got Wheel of Fortune on the bottom too, I can't help but notice. But this was kind of like, there's this energy of like, there's somebody who really wants to like, if you're involved in something and you're trying to not get caught, you're trying to defend yourself against energy that really wants for you to get caught, thinks that you deserve some form of like, you know, you'll get yours kind of thing. Judgment in this, it's basically like, I've got this, it's a bit different than readings number 1 and number 2. This is a acceptance. This is a surrender. Surrendering to, so it could be like if you've done something and you're not proud of it, or you've done something and you're kind of, how do I put this? If you've done something and you're ready, it's almost like you've agreed, and that's more like the number 1 reading. It's like, this is just the way, what I signed up for. That, okay, whatever happens, happens. It's kind of more relying on fate. Que sera. Whatever will be, will be. 9 of Pentacles. And, oh, that bird is so significant. You might have seen some form of a bird fly overhead recently. And the Empress. It's interesting. Empress energy is about interdependence. Number 3 is generally about imagination. What you can imagine. This is surrendering to what you can't know. You could imagine. You could only imagine what it is that you can't know. And this 9 of Pentacles, this is, I think, talking about a number 9, so we might be guided here to go to the number 9 reading. I don't know, haven't done it yet, so I don't know what's going to be in it, but there's some form of you can imagine in the spirit of number 9 what it is that we're about to kind of not know and be surrendering to. Empress is an interdependent energy, basically understanding that whatever it is that I consider to be my physical presence in this world is has a potential and will shape the reality I see in front of me. Ooh. 6 of Cups. So much like numbers 1 and 2 reading, it's something that you've done that kind of, it's almost like it's not done yet, it's not over yet. There's something that happened, something that you engaged in, and whether it be a relationship or some form of a activity, where you might have been like numbers 1 and 2, where you might not have given much to physically nurturing that relationship or that action that you took. It would be more like it's supposed to happen this way. It's coming from this feeling that it's a higher authority has kind of forced me to do this thing. And I have no control over the situation. Meanwhile, it's kind of like contradicting an energy that we know we have. There's independence contradicts what we know based on experience. Now that sounds very kind of like out there washy, so I'm going to get a story here. What is the 6 of Cups? This fell down. 10 of Pentacles. Okay. So what I see is that you offered something to somebody, or you engaged in something that expected more of you. Expected more, it's basically you offered emotionally to something and maybe not, and basically somebody, in order to participate in that emotional thing with you, they would have had to see you do a lot more. They were kind of expecting or waiting for you to offer physically to that thing. But there, I have your energy here as being kind of like, I didn't feel like doing it, so whatever happens, happens. Participating. How are you participating? How are you showing up? Is what this is talking about. Magician. You're showing up as the magician, but you don't know it, is what it is. So there's this energy here that it's like this hangman energy, and then there's this magician energy, which is actually you. Or, you know, if it turns out that we have to flip the roles upside down, that's fine too, like if that's the way it resonates for you. But I see this as you creating something, creating a situation where somebody's expecting more out of you, but not really being aware that you created that situation. Because there's this kind of like, we talked about veil, this understanding that, you know, we're independent of what happens to us, you know, that we're kind of like, we don't decide. The divine forces decide what happens to us. And if the divine forces decided that this person wouldn't feel like I did enough, then that's que sera. Meanwhile, it's like kind of contradictory, because we definitely have this experience here of being somebody who knows that what I give my energy to informs what I see in that thing. And what I give my energy to over here informs what happens. So we're not even aware of that. There's the disconnect between what it is that we're doing, what it is that we're seeing in this reading, in number 3. And we're imagining something to be a certain way. King of Swords is back. I see. I get it. I feel like this is, if there was somebody who maybe felt like you weren't doing enough, they wanted you to do more because they wanted to profit from what it is that you were doing. They wanted to take advantage of you. And so I understand now. Rather than it being kind of like, you're not putting enough work into a relationship, it's more like you didn't put the work in because it didn't feel right, because you felt something. In here, I see somebody who's feeling like somebody wanted to take advantage of them, and they purposely would have nurtured some kind of understanding of the situation based on a feeling, I feel like you wouldn't have known that this person, whoever this is, or a company or something, this could speak to somebody who's recently quit a job or refused to do something at work that they were asked to do that was maybe a bit sketchy. What I want to know is what was below, under the table here. There's something under the table. There's like the table here, a tabletop under the table. I wonder if there's like, I'm getting like paying cash for something, or this could be, I had a little bit of a channel about an insurance fraud. This could be about tax evasion, something like that. You know, paying something in cash so that it doesn't go in the books, so that it's not recognized. I've got Knight of Cups under the table here, and then it's like bridging all of that together. There's this world. I see you are probably not aware of what you did to end things with this situation. So it's something that's over. It's something that you see as over in your life. I wonder if it's not quite over yet, because I don't know if you're aware of how things ended with this person. This person expected something of you that you didn't do, and I feel like you had good reason to be skeptical, because it seems to me like this person did have intentions, or this company or whatever did have intentions to take advantage of you, or to take advantage of what you build, but isolate you from your own understanding of what you're giving your energy to. So there's people on the Discord watching this reading right now. We've been talking about my tortilla here. Devil. And what's here? This looks to me like something, it's rather than it being, I talked a lot in these kind of ethereal energies at the beginning of this reading and also in the other two readings. This is kind of more confirming this is a very physical situation. Like it's actually somebody might have physically been trying to take advantage of you. Of your labor, of your resources, money. Somebody was maybe trying to, this is like somebody who's like, show me your loyalty and then I'll give you your sense of freedom back. That is so strange. I don't like that at all. Got some peanut gallery style comments going on in the Discord. Seven of Swords. There's your energy. That incense is making a sizzle sound. As soon as I pull this Seven of Swords as well, that's significant. When you ended things, I feel like you got away with something before somebody could take advantage of you. However, oh, it might have been that tea light there that just went out. I'm going to just get a new one. And this candle here went out. Oh goodness, for having a candle outage. Maybe I'll... These candles sometimes. Where am I going to put this? Part of me, I'm, of course, like I said before, I'm a bit delirious with fever from my booster shot. Like this one. I feel like you're maybe mistaken So this is kind of another warning reading that you may feel like you ended something with somebody and kind of snuck away without having to give somebody something that they were looking for. That you may have tried to, it kind of seems like something sneaky, like seductive. Like you might have like convinced somebody here in this reading that or a company that you work for or something, or I keep getting company because of this King of Swords. You might have convinced somebody that it was in their best interest to just kind of end things. And you might feel like you got away with yourself in that. But I wonder if there's a warning here that things are not over as you assumed them to be. That you may have come to the end of something, but I don't think they have. Fizzled out. That's what that sound is, a fizzling out. I'm hearing something about fizzling out, like there was something that gradually like fizzled out slowly. Like, oh, I got away with just fizzling things out slowly with this person, and now they're fine with everything. You might assume this might not be somebody you're talking to, or it might be a company you might have gotten away with quitting a job, or gradually kind of like if you're like you work for yourself, you have a client or something who was trying to take advantage of you. You might feel like you just kind of like stopped doing work for them over time, and then that King of Pentacles. Yeah. See, this is kind of, I'm getting this kind of tax collector energy from this as well, King of Pentacles, that it could be that you got away with something, finishing something before somebody was able to kind of take advantage of you. But I feel like there's a return of this energy. It could be that, well, it makes sense, right? We're at the beginning of the year, so there might be something of a tax thing where you might be asked to account for something in your taxes. Or in another story, it could be that King of Swords told King of Pentacles something, and King of Pentacles is still looking for you. There's a company, I just heard something about if you quit a job, or you eventually stopped working for someone and stopped doing work for someone who you felt was taking advantage of you in some way, they may tell someone else what they feel happened. It's they might decide to. This King of Swords is not done, is what I'm getting. And even though they're not in the picture anymore, like I've got their face kind of not showing up in this anymore, I've got somebody else here who's going to show up as them. Oof. Yeah, I'm kind of, I feel a, really? Who did that? Wait a minute. Who? Five of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like somebody wants to collect. Somebody feels like you owe them money, or somebody feels like you owe them something physical, like, you know, time, energy. You could be, I just got this energy of like an artist who's doing work for, you know, a client, and the client was taking advantage of you maybe, and you may have kind of felt like you kind of ended things before they could take advantage of you, and now this client somehow believes that you still owe them some things, some work. Or you could be in a relationship that ended. That gradually fizzled out. With someone who was looking for your commitment, or looking for your, basically, for you to merge resources with them. And I feel like you maybe ended things before that could happen. And then I end up with somebody surfacing down the road, a lawyer or something. Like this is kind of feels official, this King of Pentacles, somebody who's like already got the resources to, it's like they don't need the resources from you, but they are here to collect something that they feel they lost. And so this is almost like a representative, like a lawyer. I wonder, I don't want to put that on you, but just keep your eye out. If you feel like you're in a situation where you could possibly be sued or this is what I'm getting. So this is strange. This is what comes out of my fever is like legal drama. I think we're getting it before. We were like, this sounds like a Young and Restless episode. Now I think we're into like, I don't know. Has there ever been like a courtroom drama centered around I'm really, oh, I don't like this. This is like, I'm really sorry. I got this message here. It just kind of came in. It's like, if you were in some form of a relationship where somebody was taking advantage of you, and you found a way to get out of that relationship in a way that was kind of like convincing them, or you felt like you convinced them to end the relationship or something like that. I feel like that didn't go over as you thought it did. And you might be, especially if this is like a marriage or something, that there's a separation from a marriage, and there might be somebody here who is going to serve you some form of a, you know, this could be family law. Somebody who wants like an alimony or something from you. So now we're getting into courtroom dramas. Judge Judy. Small claims, big claims. This is bigger than small claims. This is a big, big thing. This is really big. It's somebody who wanted to take advantage of you. They're going to try again some other way. Knight of Swords. Ooh, you're not going to be happy when you see this. Okay. And High Priestess. I'm getting like the confirmation that I'm kind of onto a story. This is kind of like, yes, you're you're right in there. And then this is when I say this thing about how it's going to set you off when you see this go like this. Like when somebody says, if you get a letter from a lawyer, this is going to be like you getting a letter from a lawyer that says that this that you're being sued for what this person lost in whatever happened between the two of you. That's just an example, something along those lines. This is going to set you off. Like, what? They were taking advantage of me. I paid for everything when we were... I did nothing. I offered and offered and offered. And they kept wanting more. And then I had this feeling that they were going to take advantage of me. And so I went, I left. I ended things before it could get to that point. They don't have a right to do this. High Priestess is coming up as their energy, though. There's something that they know that you don't know that they know. So I gave you. Ooh. Okay, so this might be a situation where wow, I heard something here. You're giving your resources to something else. You were giving your resources to... Okay, wait a second. I just want to talk less about, like, in tarot language. What I'm seeing here is a scenario where, let's just talk about this like a relationship, okay? There's a relationship that you used to offer all kinds of things to in the past. Emotionally speaking, you were in love. And you started to get the feeling that this person was holding back until you gave all of your resources to this person, or you merged your resources with them. What I'm getting here is that you managed to get away with kind of like ending things before it got to that point where you merged your resources with them. which to me kind of speaks to somebody who is like, basically they were feeling like you owed that to them. I don't agree with this. I don't agree that somebody owes you their resources, or that you owe somebody their your resources. But I feel like I feel for this here, that it's going to set you off or something like that. That if somebody's saying, so obviously take this as this energy that's general, and I'm telling a specific story about it. It could be, goodness, it could be, this is from like a long time ago maybe. Like it doesn't make any sense that this person would still be kind of focused on this. That you thought you sorted things out. That there was an agreement, you know? Now you know that you got away like by the skin of your teeth or something. That it could have gotten a lot worse, but it didn't, thank goodness. But here's something, they know about something that you were doing when the two of you were together, or when you were doing work for this person. They know about something that you were doing, and they're going to use that against you. Wow, this is super specific, I guess. And I don't know, is this about like life path, like you're supposed to go through this in order for something to happen? Mm-hmm. You were giving your time to something else, to someone else. And they feel you were supposed to be giving your time to them. Ooh. You started seeing someone else. In a relationship, this will be that you started seeing someone else, and when somebody thought that you should be loyal to them. Oh. Fights. This is very, very explosive. This person might be very explosive. Okay, I pretty much got the entire deck out here for this reading, so I'm just going to end it here almost. Well, not the entire deck. There's a lot of the deck left, but so this is it. Look at that. They felt like they were still in a committed relationship. So this is the tea about a couple. And then I think it resonates as well with like a workplace scenario, that if it is that you were doing work for someone, they felt like you were still committed to one another. But I'll read the relationship part. That there's a relationship where somebody felt like they were still committed to you, that they were still offering you, they were still paying for something for you. And therefore, they were showing their commitment. And at the time when they were showing their commitment to you, you were, this is their argument. This is their argument in what I feel like might be a very angering letter that arrives, announcing some form of a, somebody wanting to collect what this person feels like they deserve. That you were offering your resources to someone else, that you were seeing someone else, that you were being with someone else when this person was still showing their commitment to you, and that there's something wrong here, that this person feels like you owe them what you offered to someone else. Now, I say that you, flip it upside down. It could be the other way around. You might feel like somebody owes you, because you might feel like you were still like, just getting this like, okay, say you were paying for something, that you were offering somebody in a relationship, okay, where maybe you gave somebody access to your bank account and then they took money from that bank account. This is very, very specific and very tea-like. And then they took money from that bank account and offered it to someone else. And you have the records to prove it. That could be if you're the other side of the story here. And you might be going after someone for that money that they spent of yours, or that belonged to the both of you. They may have spent some of that money on someone else when you feel like they should have given it to you, or they should have been loyal to you, that money wasn't put into this account. It's like a joint account. The money wasn't put in here in order for you to spend it on, in order for either of you to spend it on someone else, let alone another relationship. And somebody might feel like they got away with that without there being too much of a fuss made about it. But I feel like there's a fight here. So actually, now that I see this story, as much as I was kind of disagreeing with taking advantage of energy, that it didn't seem right, like that I understood that it would be angering to get a letter to say like, oh, you're being sued, or, you know, you're going to have to go to court because somebody's demanding some form of a, you know, this is like a divorce payment, like a settlement or something that's going to happen. Somebody might have been demanding that, and it could be very angering, or, you know, it could set you off to get a letter like that because it's like they were trying to take advantage of me. At the same time, you might not know that they know. And this is only a warning if you're kind of, you know, I'm not making a judgment about what you did, but I can see here that they might actually have a leg to stand on if they have records or something. Hi, Colin. That you took money out of a joint bank account. This is really, really specific. Or it could be that scenario with an artist I was getting, like that somebody hired you as an artist to do something, and there might have been like an account for that, and they might have prepaid for something, and you might have gotten out of doing the work because you kind of felt like they'd be taking advantage of you. Down you get, Colin. Thank you for the visit. And if that's the case, then you might not know that they actually have a record, is basically what this reading is for number 3. It's, there's a, I'm just reading the Discord chat. I'm trying to understand. I don't know what that is. They have a record. Okay, I'm going to clear this out, and just because I don't want to leave you hanging on this, I know that we're going to go do other numbers. I'll just get a kind of like, is that the end of the reading kind of question, so that I know that I've kind of got the story down. It's a really strange reading. We're getting really strange readings with me and my fever. I still feel I have it, because I've still got the chills. Yeah. Yes. That is the reading. So just keep your eye out. Now, I could be channeling something that you're watching, you know, like I could be channeling something that you're watching, like a TV show. I was mentioning that earlier, that it was kind of feeling like it was a, you know, some form of a soap opera or something. At the same time, it could just feel that way, whatever scenario you're in. Number 3 energy. If you're thinking about using this to predict what would happen on the 3rd of the month, I've got a 5 here. I feel like something is going to be very adamant, is basically it, based on number 5 here. And like combining with number 3 is that if you are going to be imagining, like if you're aware of this scenario and you know about this already, and I'm just kind of telling you something you already know, I feel like this is kind of like to gauge that energy. This is an energy that's going to be very adamant that there was a commitment between the two of you. when there was some form of during a separation of some kind. Okay. Somebody says they've been watching Seinfeld. Does this happen in Seinfeld? It's a good show. Three of Pentacles here. It's just kind of confirming that there's going to be some people with their hands out. Whoever that is. Okay, I'm going to end it there. Thanks so much for watching. And if you want to kind of follow this story, you can continue on to the number 4 reading, or you can leave it here if this kind of didn't feel like it was for you, or check out some form of number combination to make up for number 3, like 2 plus 1, I guess. Or you could go a few other directions with that. At your creative, because you're such a creative person, you know, number 3, super creative. I don't know, I don't think you're going to have trouble understanding if that's an analogy for something else that you're going through in your life, where somebody feels like you owe them something and you don't feel like you owe them something. Just keep in mind that they might know more than you think they do when you are about to be set off. That's pretty much the thing. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any despair to toss into the hat, feel free to make a donation to the PayPal for Tarot Lady in the Church channel. Helps the channel out a whole lot. Also, come check out stream. We do live stream readings on Twitch on Saturday nights usually, and sometimes during the week, but you can count on Saturday nights for the most part. All right. Thanks so much. Bye.